This is the Brick Commentary Central. You're listening to BCC Podcast. It is Monday, June 3rd of 2024, and you're listening to episode 396 of the BCC Podcast. I'm LQ, and joining me today is Malaris.
Did you guys know that we surpassed the TTV podcast a long time ago?
Yeah, we talked about it then.
Yeah, I don't recall
I think
this.
we've already surpassed the total number of episodes they'll ever have, too.
Rip. Now we can find, like, if people ever say we're trying to copy them, it's like, nope, can't do it anymore. There's nothing left to copy.
Also, Leo is here.
No. There'll be someone, but thankfully most of our audience now is new, and I don't think there's as much
I don't
crossover.
think there's almost any crossover these days. There might be a couple people.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if Meso himself still listens.
I don't think Mess will ever listen consistently. I think Mess will listen like twice.
Yeah. When he was on.
Yeah. He listened once with Kahi, according to Kahi's story. When they were locked out of their house in DC.
Oh. Things to forget.
People don't know. Should I tell this story now?
Yeah.
Or should I save it for like a special?
Well, you should finish
episode?
the introductions.
Oh, Ford is here. I saw I was muted before, so I was trying to kill time.
Yeah, sorry. I think my grandfather butt dialed me. like as soon as we started the introductions.
What if he didn't butt dial? What if he had like a stroke and he's desperately trying to get a hold of something?
I don't know. I hope he's okay. Like, seriously, I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
But I heard
it's
what
pretty funny.
I think was a TV in the background, so I think he might have just butt dialed me. He does this from time to time.
You also might have a stroke from time to time. You never know.
No. He's never had a stroke. He's had like 4 heart attacks though.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Comforting.
Usually you're not going to butt dial someone when you have a heart attack.
Yeah, that's not on. So,
yeah. So do we want to tell that story now, or do we save it for another time?
I'm not familiar with the story.
You don't know this story? I guess I'll tell you.
The Orlando
I probably
story?
don't remember it.
No, okay, it wasn't. This was before the Orlando story.
Okay.
So this is back in the day when we liked people and we had guests on the podcast.
We can still do that.
I've thought about doing
what's
something.
up?
Mostly it's just a lot of work now.
It's already hard enough to get the 5 people onto the podcast.
Actually, you know what? It's been consistently easier to get everyone on the podcast than it has been in years.
I guess so. With less raging hormones, it's just the difficulties of life at this point that keeps it apart.
What?
Well, I think it helps that most people, except for you, have day jobs now, so...
And little night lives.
So, yeah, we had a bunch of different people on back in the day, and one of them we had on was Kahi. This was the day LJ got fired.
It made for a very awkward time.
I don't think it was too awkward to us at the time, actually.
I mean, we kind of just
tiptoed
over it.
I mean, even back then, we kind of knew we were our own thing. We didn't care too much about what everyone else did. And earlier in the day, I was on campus and I called you about this and what's going on?
Yeah, I remember.
We were like, I don't know. Turns out no one knew. To this day, it's a mystery to everyone.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was on a couple of times, I think, actually, and he was saying that he really liked our format for podcast games, and he had wanted to hire us out to do a show on the TTV channel.
Imagine if we got paid.
So this, when he got to that point, was around a month before he got fired.
Rip.
It's just a very poor association
we were
of
playing
talent.
both sides of it this time, because I think all of us were on the LJ Johnson show at some point, except for Kevin.
Yeah.
No, I was on there
you were
once.
on it? Okay.
Yeah, he got all of us on there.
He told me
Back
we should
when
do
LJ
it again sometime.
He told me that too.
And
that
then
was
the
back when
LJ
LJ needed friends, though.
Yeah.
No, he had friends.
Then why was there LJ Con with the goal of making friends?
There's a throwback no one's gonna get, except you and I.
Ed Matar did a cartoon of that. Her TTV cartoons are pretty funny. I like those.
Yes.
I miss those. I miss those.
Well, you're gonna have to miss them for the rest of your life now.
Well, their podcast isn't ending for 10 months.
Yeah, it's like May in 25.
Yeah.
The final episode is supposed to air.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, what did you guys do to the overlay microphone? How long has it been like that?
I did not touch that.
I did not touch the overlay microphone. I promise.
Allie and I
Certainly
noticed it
wasn't me.
when we watched it during our honeymoon.
Well, maybe you messed with it. Did you ever think of that?
I'm gonna go back and literally check.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like that, like, on the last podcast for sure, but what about the one before that? Yeah. What if you messed it up?
Oh, the BCC podcast playlist got messed up. It's now showing the oldest episodes first.
That is not something we want at all.
Let's see, isn't show prep great what the microphone looks like?
No,
well, it's right in this episode!
Look throughout the whole thing, though. Maybe it gets messed up at some point, and then it doesn't get fixed.
No, look at episode 294 of the podcast.
Look through the entire thing.
Yeah, it's right this entire time! And somehow you managed to mess it up in all different sections. How did you even do this?
I don't know. Listen.
I mean, we've only got 3 more episodes with this overlay on. Do I go through all the work of changing it at this point, or
is it that much work just to bring it up?
It's hard.
It must have been not that hard to like mess up.
It's locked too. I don't know how you managed it.
Well, you unlock it.
Trying to even find where it's at.
No. Go down. No, go up.
There it is.
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
yeah, unlock it.
Okay.
But now I got to change it in all of them is the thing.
What the heck?
How did you manage
I
this?
don't listen. At least I didn't download 1,000 viruses to your PC, okay? Like I'm a little.
That's not even a dig at. That's not even a dig at him. It's a dig at Leo.
Yeah. Listen, I just tried to throw some heat off.
If you're gonna argue with someone, argue with them, not their friends.
Okay, fine. I was trying to include the group, but you know what? Fine. At least I didn't get married last week.
The last thing you need is for the group to get like on you. Okay. You don't know how to do arguments, do you?
Oh, you don't think I know how to do arguments? Is that a red herring I hear?
Look, as far as I know, Leo's current desktop has remained virus-free.
That's good.
So far, regular scans.
It's also Red Dead 2 free, but we don't talk about that.
Oh,
look,
now you're making digs at Leo.
I got tired of the save point. I'm
playing
Halo
Lenny.
now. I couldn't find Lenny.
Bro, you just had to go back to camp.
I couldn't find Lenny, and I lost my legendary bear pelt.
There's no way that can be lost forever. That has to be, like, I think if you die, the bear pelt is automatically given to the trapper. You just don't get the money for it.
Ah!
You can still buy
Dutch
the
needs
legendary
that money, Kevin.
Yeah, you can still get
Dutch
the gear.
is a communist. He doesn't need anything.
No, Dutch is not a communist. Dutch is about living free. Okay? Communists hate freedom. Communists hate money.
He's a communist in the second game. Well, the first game, I should say.
Well, in the first game, he's a bit different.
Yeah.
Like how...
He's like...
who's the Mexican guy?
Javier?
Yeah, how he talks like
yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez in the first game.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
So this got in the way of the rest of the story. Like
There's more to the story?
Oh, I thought you were going to like...
No, then the story ends abruptly because then Kai gets fired and then no one ever considers us again.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
True.
No, when they made the episode, when TTV made the episode saying like there's a finite, there's a time limit now to the episodes. I immediately DM'd Meso to demand that I be given a guest.
We were also that was also Kai who was telling us we were going to be able to be on the TTV podcast at some point.
Well, I don't need anything. I don't need his name behind this now. I've been a loyal listener for what is this?
Including when Kahi was in charge?
No. I think those episodes were boring. Everyone hated it.
Well, okay, to be fair, there were actually some pretty great episodes in that era.
I suppose, but there's still a lot of boring ones. I may have listened to all of them.
Kermit the whole time.
But yeah, that one was funny.
No, I definitely listened to all of them during that era.
Yeah, but have you gone back to listen to the 2010 era?
I've listened to like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then that was a big deal. These days, it's not like the podcast is nothing at all. Not like I want to, crap on it. It's just a bit smaller than it used to be, and they're admitting as much.
Yeah, and like a lot of the, I think they said the reason they're changing this is because their brand changed from the Three Virtues into TTV to be more search engine friendly.
Are they going to make it the Pandemic Panda podcast now?
I don't know, because they're wanting to do.
I feel like that would work.
I think they're wanting to go back more into Halo and probably just other
Destiny 2
video games.
They talk more about being a variety show type thing. Yeah, I think they should bring back the Pandemic Panda name then.
I don't know. It might not track very well.
Haha, Ford. Don't you think that would get a lot of traction though? It's like, oh no, COVID
I don't know.
Panda?
Well, I can't predict that. Kind of weird. I guess.
Yeah. New COVID variant.
But knowing them, I doubt they would call it Pandemic Panda.
So now we could never rebrand as a regular variety show without being. We just did the exact same thing that they did.
It doesn't matter.
We're stuck talking about
those
Lego
comparisons until we come up with them. At this point, like we're not all teenagers back in 2015 anymore.
Yeah.
We're not even teenagers.
No.
That's why we should. That's why we'll do our new call-in show where we take troubled teenagers and give them life advice.
Terrible life advice. Like, we will be... So, as long as we brand it as terrible life advice, we're not liable. But then we'll give, like, some of the most... Because, the life advice people, they tell everyone this is gonna be okay, but then they give horrible advice. As long as we tell people we're giving horrible advice, give them good advice, then it's just like, oh, snap, yeah.
It's gonna be okay. Spend all of your money on Ethereum. It's gonna be alright.
Honestly, if they would have done that, like, Bitcoin rebounded recently.
Yeah.
What about Doge?
If we would have reinvested into Bitcoin, we would be very rich right now.
Why do they keep telling me this? Every time it's like, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin.
No, you gotta buy Bitcoin when no one is saying buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, but then you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Some of us don't have the spare money.
I've given up on investing. Leo told me to invest in the space cruise industry before the pandemic, and I don't think they're coming back at this point. I'm waiting for the company to declare bankruptcy.
Look, Virgin Galactic is going to take off.
Skyrocket, you could say. Oh, waka, waka.
Better than Bezos's penis rockets.
Leo, my gain in the Virgin Galactic stock is negative 96.97%.
Oh, no!
Well, so now's the time to buy.
Well, he did make more shares of it.
Yeah.
After one of their, it was pretty inconvenient.
Yeah, the stock's at an all-time low.
Dang.
To be fair, all of my stocks are doing pretty bad except for Coca-Cola.
People keep drinking.
It's a problem.
But Carnival Cruise Line never came back. Nokia, it never came back. Zillow never came back. Tesla comes back sometimes. Yeah. So, did you actually
yeah.
get to finish your thought about when you messaged Meso?
Just saying that. Just saying I bugged him, and he said, "Oh, maybe," but we'll see.
You'll never achieve your lifelong dream.
Well, that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, now we've got to beat all their episodes of their other podcasts as well. I've always said my goal is to get at least 1,000 episodes. In 10 years, we've gotten 400. So, 15 years from now, maybe we'll have 1,000. Probably not. Probably take more like 20 more years.
Yeah. Maybe the kids will take over.
The problem is all of your kids will hate each other.
Probably.
Why would all our kids hate each other?
I don't know, but I feel like that's...
No. He's onto something.
Yeah.
My
Okay,
kids would definitely sow dissent amongst the masses.
How are you planning to raise your kids?
That's
Libertarian?
classified. That's classified.
Out of everyone, who do you think is most likely to raise bad children here?
All the married people or the...
No, you're included.
Oh, I think I will.
Yeah.
Throw my name in the hat.
You'll teach them to pickpocket and gamble and drink.
Have you seen it? Wait, have you seen
qualities.
Kevin's refrigerator? Have you seen his toilet?
Have you seen your mouth?
I have not seen Kevin's toilet, no.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that, that most people go taking fond pictures of. It's just like, oh, look at my toilet.
I've got a picture of Kevin's toilet.
No, you do. Oh, you have video of it. That's different. That is for a classified project that we'll never release. I think we've talked about it, but it's classified.
Bag nabbit.
Oh, yeah.
Who said it was never being released?
Yeah, we didn't say it's never being released. I said speak like it's never going to be released.
Yeah, I am speaking like it's never You guys are giving up the game!
We haven't recorded my part still, actually. How do you think Mace's children will behave?
Quietly. In fear.
Yeah. They'll possibly be dehydrated.
What?
Until they learn.
Now I'm worried about Ford's children. Alright. Should we talk about the Lego news? We only have one thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's talk about the tree.
It finally happened. The Great Deku Tree is real, and it is overpriced,
yes.
but it is real.
Big tree.
Someone stole this Lego ideas, right?
Was there a
like
Lego Ideas Deco Tree?
There are probably a
Probably
few.
is.
There's probably hundreds of thousands of them.
What was
Just
that
like
one...
Lego's Zelda
I remember the
sets.
ones that got there were all like castles.
Yeah, it's like every cycle there is one Zelda set that made it into the review or something.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any good Deku Tree. I found a one.
He doesn't quite look right.
He's using wire on the eyes. Let me get it up here.
I can't believe they stole this design, though. I mean, wow.
Those are some weird looking eyes, man. It's not just me, right?
Looks like a
You
VeggieTales
can
character.
tell by the look
Yeah.
in his eyes. There is something missing.
He looks weirdly, he looks weirdly like Tom Selleck from a distance.
Yeah.
Like it's not just me, right? It's like he looks like he's gonna be in a movie with Ted Danson and a baby.
I think the exaggerated, eyebrows and mustache is not doing it any favors.
I mean, to be fair,
That
the actual
Deku
tree's-
Tree looked like it was gonna sell me a reverse mortgage.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
And your
this
AARP
one looks
subscription.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this one looks way better though. A lot less like Tom Selleck. So
I didn't realize Tom Selleck from
approve
Blue
it on that
Bloods
ground.
was the same one that was Magnum PI.
Yeah, it's famous.
They are indeed the same actor. Yes.
He looks very different despite having the same mustache.
He is old.
That's what like,
That's what age
20,
does
30
to
years
you.
does to you.
I don't know. He looks a lot better than most old celebrities.
I mean,
That is
because
true.
he probably didn't, inject.
He did not take the Botox or the plastic or
Though strangely,
whatever else
his
they're
mustache
injecting
is
themselves
more
with.
black than it was when he was young.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
Well, you can't,
Feel like
hide
facial
yourself
hair.
from all the I don't know where I'm going with this.
You can't tee off once you've teed off,
I guess so, yeah. So Deku Tree.
Yeah.
Deku Tree. So I have no reference to where the Deku Tree comes from in Zelda. Because the only Zelda
well,
game
it
I've
depends
played
on
is
the
Super
game.
Smash Brothers.
It's not in Temple, so where does it...
Yeah.
Is this the
don't
tree
see it in the
that blows
temple.
on you in Smash Bros?
Might as well be.
So I
Oh
guess
yeah, is this from Kirby?
Mm.
Oh, I love Wispy Willow.
Was there ever like a trophy for this in Brawl or something?
Yes, I'm sure there was. So
Okay.
there's multiple Great Deku Trees throughout the game, and there's actually 3 different versions of the Great Deku Tree in just a moment.
I got to experience it for real 2 weeks ago.
We'll talk about that a little bit towards the end.
I just remembered that.
The One Piece.
It's only also it's not been 2 weeks. You left 8 days ago.
It feels like a month.
Anyway, so the most famous version of the Deku Tree is probably Ocarina of Time, but then of course the only normie Zelda there is now is Breath of the Wild. So they included both of them here.
Ocarina of Time, was that the Game Boy game?
No, Ocarina of Time was on the Nintendo 64, which pioneered the
64.
3D adventure genre.
Aha. You mean more than DK64 did?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Darn.
DK64 has one of the most broken game mechanics ever, and you can speedrun the heck out of it.
Underrepresented cult classics.
But you see,
DK64 is like the only N64 game that's not on NSO still.
DK is also more technologically advanced. He has a gun. So, it's a lot better than Slingshot.
Okay, anyway, so yeah, they got 2 versions of the Deku Tree. Actually, 3, because you also have the young Deku Tree down there.
To go with younglings.
Oh.
So, it also has 3 versions of Link. Let me zoom into this spot on this one here. So, we've got 4 minifigures in this set, which I did not realize at first, but here, starting with the old one, we've got Ocarina of Time. Like, and he does have an ocarina piece.
He has an
That's pretty
ocarina.
cool.
He has the Ocarina of Time.
Our first ocarina piece, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Actually,
the one
did
Sora
CMF
gave him
have
is
something
irrelevant.
That's like an ocarina once?
I don't think so.
No.
Like they're usually the source for, I think, new Lego instruments, but this is novel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's not definitely not a piece they had to include either, so
But can he play it? I don't think so.
I'm sure he can, Ford.
I'm
Oh,
sure
well,
if
can
he
he?
plays it, then the funny little bird will come out of the sky to give him a lift.
Yeah.
Is he gonna ask him to feed him?
Funny you should mention that. There's a part in Twilight Princess where you can howl and then a bird comes and picks you up and you have to pop a bunch of fruit. Yeah. Good
Those
times.
weird looking bird things, right?
But
With, like,
also,
the
there it comes with Young
weirdly
Link's
human
house
heads.
here, which this is
No.
very, very cool.
Different.
It comes with a whole
Oh,
Young
hey,
Link
it has-
figure, and it has a Navi,
It has "Hey, listen."
and he has
Guys,
Young Link's
listen.
shield, like he has in Smash Bros.
Yep.
This
That's,
reminds me of old YouTube.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got like 3 variants of Smash Bros. Characters
Younglings.
in this one set.
The other Ocarina of Time Link I don't know was really ever in Smash, except for 64, kinda. He looks different.
That's what I. Well, I mean, technically in Melee. If you think about it.
Technically. True.
Was it Ocarina of Time Link in Melee?
I think so.
It would have been in 64 too as well, but I've got to refresh
Well,
myself
Ocarina
on
of Time would have been like the newest version.
Yeah.
At that point.
Until
So.
Toon Link ruined it all.
Yeah, I guess it is Ocarina of Time Link.
Mm-hmm.
I never played Melee.
Yeah, that's your
What?
issue.
You're missing out, man.
I own every other Smash Bros. Except for Melee.
So.
Yeah, I really like this model. I will get it, even though the price per piece is pretty bad. It's 2,500 pieces exactly for $300.
Oh, wow.
They
What
knew
a
we'd
steal.
buy it.
They've known since, like, the 2000s everyone would buy this.
Yep.
You know?
I just hope they don't
Mhm.
think that they can do it twice.
They know their consumer base.
Because the thing is, though, it would have been cool, and this would never happen just because of how the model works. If we could have just gotten smaller sets, like Young Link's house here, I would have bought that just as a set in itself.
Wait, this is from 3 games. That's the Gold Skulltula from Link's crossbow training for the Wii.
For
Oh,
Golden
shut up.
Skulltulas come in Ocarina of Time.
I know what I said.
I never had that game.
It's a fun game.
Where's my DK Barrel Blast set? Lego?
Oh, I'd play that.
There are DK sets,
Oh,
though.
Young Link has a skirt.
Yeah. Very...
It's good because Young Link doesn't actually wear pants.
Yeah, he's a woodland boy. Do you expect him to? He wants to be free.
Got the dual molded flesh and boot legs. Those are going to come in handy.
Yeah. Are they the tiny? Are they the new tiny legs that can have the bendable legs?
I
or
think these
they
are the short ones.
the single short
I
legs.
can't tell for certain, but...
Yeah.
One.
So does this set have the Master Sword?
Yes, it does also. We'll get to that when we go to the alternative model. Which I think
Does it have
this
all of the
is-
Triforce?
No, it doesn't
No.
have any Triforce.
Darn.
Well, I mean, if you have 2 of the users, I guess, the holders, but you don't have Ganondorf, so no Triforce.
Remember when Keen Harkinian just
So,
casually took the
regardless of
Triforce
what
of
version
Courage
you
to protect
have,
him?
you'll be able to build Young Link's house and the Master Sword pedestal.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool and all, but I wanted to hear what Leo had to say because he said King Harkinian, and that means it was something delicious.
Well, you'll just have to go back to the recording and listen to it.
So what I wonder also, obviously there's the 2 different models you can build. How many pieces does just the Ocarina of Time model take? Because a Great Deku Tree Breath of the Wild model is fine, but I really don't care enough about it to be $300.
You want to be angry.
I
don't know, it looks good.
It looks good still, but I just don't
Yeah.
care about Breath of the Wild as much.
Also,
I'd
I
say
feel like
yeah.
in the Breath of the Wild, I could be mistaken, but I feel like it has way more leaves on its tree. I
You
could be
mean the
wrong.
game itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So that does make it look kind of odd.
Well, because like this one's trying to do, the rest of the Korok Forest, which not really sure it works very well. But it's trying to do a lot more. Like it's got Hestu and
I
everything.
think
Yeah,
the
they
amount
got
of leaves are
Hestu.
fine.
Do they have his gift?
No,
Collect all the Korok.
that would actually be an interesting recolor of that piece. Now that I think about it.
So there is the Master Sword down here. I'm trying to figure out what it actually looks like. If that's just a weird effect on the box, or if it's marbled.
It'd be fun if it's marbled.
I think I could be wrong, but I think the blade is removable, so You have the Breath of the Wild version of the blade, where it's kind of broken, but then you have the regular silverish one. I could be completely mistaken.
Thinking about it,
I've seen like a comparison, but I maybe it's just two different renders or something.
There's no mention of the blade in the press release.
Okay, but Twitter, you know, it can lead you to some different places.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked the same to me. Like when
I'm just trying to figure out if that's an effect, because this is a very weird picture. Either way, it's a Master Sword and it looks pretty neat.
Yeah, it might just be
looks pretty good too.
Yes.
Is that an existing piece or is that a new piece?
Has to be new.
Which is the
right?
shield?
Looks new.
I also don't like how there's no gold in the center of this Master Sword.
I have a feeling that shield is probably going to be used again in the D&D blind boxes. Darn it.
I could see that.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also a Wii U gamepad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Oh, yeah.
Some meta.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, why is that? Yeah, you're right, that little dot in the middle, that's gold in every version of the Master Sword.
I don't know. Maybe it is an odd render.
Sometimes it's shown as a little bit more blue. But yeah, I doubt it would be anything but in there too. Yeah, I'm looking at all the different versions of the Master Sword. And yeah, the little... I mean, okay, there's some of them where some people are showing it looks more silverish, but... Either way, it's a cool piece, and I'm happy. There are a lot of new molds in this set. So you got new hairs for Link and Zelda. You got new piece for young Link and old Link. I think they have the same one. In fact, I'm not even sure, like, is it separate minifigures entirely for young Link and older Link in the actual time? Or is it just swapping out some pieces?
They're separate. They're separate figures, yeah.
Yeah, it does look to be the same hair piece between them.
I do find it interesting that they decided to keep the minifigure selection not only small, but also very pointed.
Yeah.
I mean,
like direct to the scenes that they're in. Because I'm kind of comparing it to the Dune set, where it's just kind of like a hodgepodge of different characters. Yeah.
But yeah, those didn't require all new molds either.
I guess that's true.
Who else could you do that doesn't require a new mold?
Fade
Ralph?
Ralpha?
Ganondorf.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Dune.
My
Sorry.
favorite Ocarina of Time character, Fade Ralpha, as portrayed by Sting on the N64.
Yes. Sorry, I thought we were talking about Dune for a minute.
No. It's not like Zelda has a lot of main characters.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There are certainly other characters that are good designs, but I cannot see basically any of them needing a unique mold too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think for what it is, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the set. I think it came out great. I like the minifigures we got in them. I think those are great. I will buy it, even though it is super expensive. What I wonder is, are there going to be any other Zelda sets after this then?
I mean, if this does well, maybe. But it also depends on how Nintendo wants to do it, I guess.
It sounds like Nintendo will let them do basically anything.
Yeah, because if Nintendo had their way, we wouldn't have gotten the Mario line in that in that manner.
I think like I think Penn on Twitter was like going crazy when this when this was revealed, and they said this would be the first one, like the first Zelda set.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, first.
I'm sure that they'll make another one if this sells well.
I mean, like, come on.
They probably have one in the works already.
I would love it to be a smaller one next, but I doubt it will be.
Temple.
Yes,
Temple of Time
Killbox.
actually would
Zelda
be
2.
Killbox.
the Temple of
Killbox.
Time would be a great one. Honestly.
Leo's gonna have to buy that one just to relive the trauma.
Just the kill box.
Well, the thing is, if they do the Temple of Time, I'm trying to look at like between Breath of the Wild and Ocarina
I mean,
of
they've
Time
already got
versions.
the Master Sword mold, so they may as well.
Like, it'd be so easy for them to make a Faces of Evil set.
Leo, you know all the wrong things about this franchise.
You mean the best things? Look, where else would you get art like this?
I await with bated breath.
Leo, we're not
Still
only we have to
waiting.
wait even longer to get it in the podcast.
Oh.
More she
Ah,
reads
yes.
the entire Bible. No AI. How was this put together?
By clips.
I mean, did they not even use AI to put the clips together?
I don't
Did
think so.
someone
I think
really
it was,
do this by hand and not
I
use
think
a
it was
program?
I think it was hand stitched, like the old ways.
Now that's dedication.
This
Dedication to
Labor
the
of
craft. Yeah. Not just to the craft, but also to the faith. I appreciate that.
Look, you don't need Jonathan Rumi reading you the Bible now. You have more shoe.
Also, how did they upload a 3-day long video?
I don't know. The cap on YouTube I thought was 12 hours.
I do too!
Do you think they have like special things for like faith-based content?
Oh,
The video file is 108 gigabytes!
only 108? It's bigger than Skyrim.
I love the the thumbnail. He's just a black robe and he's holding the Bible.
No, there is a program they use to make it.
Yeah, probably.
Which,
Probably.
they say no AI, but that's basically the same thing as an AI program.
But the point is that it's not an AI generated voice. Like, it's not.
No, but it's technically the same principles.
Yeah, but it's no, I guess, learning. The model isn't learning how to replicate the voice. It's learning.
They also
what to
used an
stitch.
awful translation of the Bible.
Which one they use?
The World English Bible.
Oh, well, look.
What's the World English Bible?
It only was completed in 2020.
It took a long time.
Yeah, why? It should have been the King James version.
It's called the Web. Worldwide Internet.
I guess the reason they use it is because it's completely free use.
Isn't most Bibles free
No.
It's weird. I don't know why.
use? You want to hear the good news? Well, too bad.
$2.99, please.
People, you see, the thing is when people learn languages in translation, and to be fair, yeah, they do need to be paid, because that's a lifetime work to actually be good at this stuff. On the other hand, it seems like maybe some people could do with dedicating to put something out there just for the good of mankind.
Well, that's what, like, patronage is for. But...
Yeah, but they don't usually do that. People have copyright to, like, Bible versions and other translations of religious texts are very greedy with copyright. They will go after you if you print it and hand it out to people.
Dang.
Oh.
I'm still confused how they got permission to do a 3-day video.
Truly
You
one
must
of the
know
wonders
someone
of
at
the age.
YouTube.
Well, it's
Yeah.
the Bible. It's free.
It's pretty bad. Okay.
He's just like listening to it live.
Yeah, I don't have too much else to say. Oh, wow, we're 40 minutes in already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what happens when you start listening to Morshu.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I don't have too much else to say about this set. I hope to get more Nintendo-based sets in the future. I would love more sizes rather than just $300.
Are you gonna get 2 of this?
No, I
So
don't
you can
care
build
much about
both
the
at
Breath
the
of the
same
Wild
time?
version.
You don't need
Okay.
2 of this tree.
No, I will build
Unless
the
you want 2
Ocarina of Time version.
Ocarina of Time versions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it is true, though, because technically there's the young Deku tree, too, so...
Oh, true.
3 for 1.
You think you have to remove the sticker on his face to use it in the 2-for-1?
Also, Sombrero Man mentions that many translations of the Bible have been out of copyright for a very long time. Yes, that's true. That's why I also recommend they should have used the King James version.
Yeah.
Is New King James still copywritten?
Probably. It's the New King James is so weird to me because I feel like it's just one of the most unnecessary things.
No, the New King James is probably my favorite translation currently, because it makes it so it is actually, it's a better way of modernizing the text rather than modernizing it. It just makes it a little bit easier to read, but without losing the weight of the older language.
The King James is such a historical artifact.
It's a thin copyright ascribed to it. It will only be protected against verbatim copying.
So if Marshu read it, that's not verbatim copying, is it? Or is it?
I think it is.
But it's for parody, theoretically.
Hmm.
I'm trying to figure out when it will be out of copyright.
What, the New King James?
Yeah.
I suppose they keep, thanks to Disney, we keep extending how long this lasts.
Yep.
Thanks to Disney, we cannot use the Bible.
True.
We should do a Bible translation tier list.
In order for that, wouldn't we have to read a couple of versions of the Bible?
Well, I mean,
Yes.
I'm most in the versions I know best are English Standard Version, King James, New King James, and the New International Version. The New International is by far the worst of all of those.
No, the Living Bible.
I've not read the Living Bible.
No, yeah, the NIV is. I still like the NIV as like a language, closer to the English language, but
It's bad translations in a lot of spots.
yeah.
I think I've read the NIV the most growing up.
Yeah.
That was like the first Bible I had was an NIV.
I could be wrong, but
There is just some spots where it is not a translation; it's an interpretation in that version.
Yeah, and the ESV has a few interpretation too, because like there's one section in Corinthians where they just chop up where there's a paragraph break and like make it look like there's a new thought here where there isn't one in like the actual versions of the text we have in Greek.
Yeah, the English Standard Version has some issues, though. I'd say it's a preferable version to a lot of them. I would definitely prefer it over a New International Version. But I most prefer the New King James to be closest to the actual translation while utilizing more modern English.
At least it's not the message.
Does anyone read? There's also the Rainbow Bible. Have you heard of that one?
I have not heard of the Rainbow Bible.
So, do you like
Maybe I did.
democracy, Leo?
No.
Do you like the Bible?
Yes.
So what if we ruin the Bible with democracy? So what they did is they brought a bunch of Bible scholars, and they went through every text. I don't know if it's just the New Testament or the entire Bible, and then they had them vote on how accurate they think did God actually mean this, basically.
Were these words actually said? Did Jesus actually say this type of situation?
And so then, like, all of the Bible is color coded between how confident they are that it's actually the word of God.
What?
Yeah. Let me find a picture of it. It's an NIV one, of course.
The only color coding I need is the red in the New Testament to show me when Jesus is speaking.
I don't know how I feel about even just the red coloring, honestly.
I find it interesting with the red coloration.
Is this the right Rainbow Bible? No, this is a different one.
Yeah, no.
Because apparently there's a different Rainbow Study Bible.
Oh, maybe it's not called the Rainbow Bible.
Oh yeah, but it was color coded.
Yeah, it's color coded.
Let me see if I can find the name of this.
So Sombrero Man has said that the new King James will be out of copyright in 2077.
Dang. The copyright system's so broken.
Cyberpunk times.
That's just what I said.
They need to
In 2077, what does it take or wait, I forgot what he says in that commercial. Or what takes being copyright struck is getting caught. Something, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't find where this is now. Kevin knows what I'm talking about, so I definitely wasn't something I just thought of.
I think we'd have
it's
to
probably out of relevancy, because I think it was like in the 70s or 80s, so...
We'd have to ask what version that would be, but yeah, that was definitely something discussed.
Yeah, Morshu didn't use any of these versions.
You know how crazy it would be if, like, in Tears of the Kingdom, they, like, had a patch where they added Morshu in it? I'm just saying, like... You know how there's so many, like, callbacks these days? And it's like getting
Does Nintendo
hyped?
do the remember that thing in their games? Does Nintendo usually do like a remember that moment?
Yeah, actually for a lot of them, yes, but not for the CDIs.
Yeah, I don't think they'll...
They do not acknowledge them at all. As far as they're concerned, they are completely bastardized. Also, Sombrero Man posted a picture of all of the minifigures, which is good because none of the articles had any. I'm not sure where someone got this, to be honest, but glad they did. Apparently, Ocarina of Time Link also comes with another shield, and there's another sword in there.
See, look, the sword looks like blue here, and it kind of looks, I don't know.
Transparent?
Yeah.
Which, the sword does consistently glow blue.
Orange,
yeah, the gem's definitely blue and not gold, so it means there could be a better version of it someday, honestly.
Or...
Ah, yes, the Ice Planet Master Sword. Let's go.
That other sword that Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild Link has too. Where's that piece also been used? I don't recognize it that you can use that often.
Isn't that a Lord of the Rings one? I feel like it was literally in Barad-dûr, possibly, or in one of the Elrond sets, you know.
You guys discussed the sets. You should know better than I do.
I was leaving it open-ended for everyone who discussed it with me.
Also, it looks like there's even unique printing between young and adult Links.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. He pops the collar open more. He's a bad boy.
Well, he has, like, white undergarments when he grows up for some reason, when he didn't have those as a kid. Let's not question it.
Because he has more muscle to hide.
He has grown
all he did was sit in a closet for 7 years.
That'll do it to you.
He hid in the back of the church for 7 years.
Well, the apocalypse happened.
Yeah. True libertarian.
Smoking weed.
True
the whole
libertarians
time.
only come out of the church when the zombies are outside. And they are zombies.
I do like that sword. mode, though.
Zambonis.
You got a lot of shields in here. That's cool.
Yep.
He even got a Switch
It's
or a Wii U tablet, but we don't talk about that one.
a Wii U tablet.
Well,
It's a
But
Wii
what
U
kind of sword is that? Is that a soldier sword or a knight's sword? It's certainly not a traveler's sword.
Ford? Shut
I
up.
think it's a hand and a half sword.
Okay.
If he could put his hand over it. I can't tell how far the hilt goes out because the Sheikah slate is blocking it.
I don't think for that much longer.
Yeah, that's not like a new piece. That's just something we've been using for a while.
I'm just trying to figure out what other sets it's been in because I don't really recognize it from that many.
It's just an army sword then.
I think it was in the blacksmith shop.
Okay.
The medieval blacksmith, I think. I know I've got
You know,
one.
the more I look at it, I do
somewhere.
kind of wish the Master Sword blade was just in silver.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's kind of dumb to have it.
We'll probably
like-
get another version of it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
the
there's
Temple
no
of
orcs.
Time would be likely because that's another one they can make expensive. But they make
There are
that
no
a double
orcs
one
in
too.
this set, so why should it glow blue?
There's Deku Babas.
Symbols of immortal evil.
Oh, hey, there's one of the fairy stones or whatever, secret stones in the background of this too.
Has a Sheikah thing on
Might be called a Sheikah stone, actually.
it.
All the Sheikah are dead in Ocarina of Time, though.
Except
See,
Who are
the
the
royal
Sheikah?
family, yes, they use them all as spies to capture and torture their Goron and Zora enemies, and then they decided, oh, you know, that made us look pretty bad, so they killed the entire tribe to cover it up.
except one.
Yeah, and they made that one. It's kind of like, you know, how people would have foreign princes or stuff come to be the tutors for their children so they wouldn't kill them.
Oh, yeah.
Am I right about that, Leo?
There's a lot of words said right there, and I don't think I caught them all.
You know, like in the medieval times, like to be like the tutors for their children to watch over them, they'd like bring in a foreign prince or something.
Don't necessarily know if it was Prince, but probably.
And the way I remember explained is it was a foreign prince because then they'd you know, like destroy political relations if they did anything to the child. They'd have no motivation to do it.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of kind of like ransoming back and forth. Like my children will be squires for your court if your children be squires for mine.
Classic Leo move.
Where do you send your children to be squires, Leo?
Trump Tower.
Oh, to be with Baron Trump, the new Messiah.
What?
What?
Okay, you guys haven't seen the like Dune memes. Like,
Oh, okay, I know. what you're
Baron
talking
Trump is basically like, oh, my father is exiled. I need to plan my revenge.
Lisan al-Gaib.
Baron Trump
Is
is like
Lisan
7
al-Gaib
feet tall, too.
He's gotten tall.
Really tall.
It's weird.
Yeah, he's 6'7".
Good grief.
How tall did you say your dad was, Leo?
6'4".
Oh yeah, so he's even taller than your dad.
Baron Trump needs to just drink the water of life now.
The thing is, he does look like the guy, too, that played.
Paul.
Yeah.
He looked like Timothy Chalamet.
Yes, he does, kind of.
That picture's not as good
Well,
of a
except-
reference of like how much he does look like him. Like if he gets his hair all done, man.
Well, except Timothy is still a shrimp.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about Dune and Baron Trump?
Because
I
I don't know.
Oh, yes, yeah. because Leo's children being squire. I don't think you'll have enough pull to do that. You could send them to be squires at Kevin's apartment, though. Fine, Ford, your children can be squires under Kevin.
What?
We need to strengthen our political alliances to one each other.
I mean, they'll teach you how to clean your toilet.
Listen, no, I won't need to be taught. I'll just teach them once, and then they'll have to do it for the rest of their lives. So I'll be set.
He'll train them like the Karate Kid way, and then he'll send them back when they turn 18.
They will be masters of some form of martial arts. What that is, I don't know, but they will be masters of it.
Well, whatever it is, they can probably learn it better from me.
Well,
it's not about them, it's about political alliances.
Yeah. You don't.
I don't need to make a political alliance with Kevin.
Said many a kingdom that fell.
Which ones?
They're not around anymore. No one remembers them.
It's time we
Not
take a
even
stand. For the sake of our children, we need
Kevin,
to take a stand
it'll
against
be
this.
easier to do this if you have daughters and you have to marry them off some way. This way you get your sons back.
That's true.
Until you teach your son everything you knew, and then your son kills you in your sleep.
I will have to consider
Ironic.
this. This could radically change the course of events for the next millennium.
Good.
Again, the Dune reference here. Either jihad or no jihad. Which is better?
Have we defeated the Butlerians?
Not yet.
Oh.
Also, Sombrerman posted a picture of the swords in Rivendell. I'm not going to take the time to put it up here. But I believe, he said it's not a match, but I do believe actually one of them on here is a match. It's just a different angle. No, the angles are different completely. No, he's right.
Maybe they combined a mold.
You can't just combine a mold.
I don't know. I've never done it before.
We asked our Discord server to send in relationship issues to us to discuss, but unfortunately, no one answered. Oh, he found it. It's for the Raven Knight. I believe that was a CMF.
Yes.
So it's not an easy to get sword, if I'm...
Yeah, it hasn't really been used that
been
much.
11 sets, it said. Yeah, one of them
That's
was
a good
CMF, and it was in the blacksmith shop, you're right. Also in the Lion Castle.
So if we were Castle fans,
it looks like it was also for that one, like, Eskimo guy with the sword and the snowflake shield. The Viking village. Did any of you guys get the Viking village?
No.
No.
Was it in the Viking ship?
It was in Frodo and Gollum brickheads.
It is not in the Viking ship.
Gandalf and Balrog brickheads. Aragorn and Arwen brickheads. So it's not as I thought. The Disney Castle. Of the Dungeons and Dragons set. It's in that.
Naturally.
Man, I forgot how expensive that set is.
Was it $500?
No, not that much. It's $360.
Okay.
The price per piece is better than this one, honestly. Oh, and it is in the Fell Beast gift with purchase.
The French.
So it is hard to get.
I mean, you can just get literally any Lord of the Rings brickheads to get.
I can't wait to buy myself Frodo and Gollum.
But I'm not going to get those, so it's hard to get.
What about the Viking village?
Okay, maybe.
I
do owe it to Viking
lifestyle.
boys.
Meanwhile, I'm
do
living
owe
in
it
the
to
golden
Viking
age
boys.
of piracy.
Pirate's life.
What is it with you and the pirate documentaries?
It's from my homeland, okay?
Oh, okay.
We literally had a whole episode discussing how cool North Carolina was, especially in comparison to South Carolina, which that is just my vibe.
Don't you know that
Okay.
Kevin is a direct descendant from Blackbeard?
Oh,
It's possible.
really?
Does Blackbeard have any children?
He probably has many.
I'm sure he had many children.
You
In
never
the
hear
same
about
vein
people
as
having ancestry
Charlemagne,
related
Genghis
to pirates.
Khan,
No,
and
there's
Nile of the
a
Nine
couple.
Fingers.
Like Henry Every's ancestry, he had kids, so there's people who trace back to him.
So is anyone here related to a pirate?
That's a
Not
real
that I'm aware
question.
of.
It's
Probably
like
not.
thing that's like you don't have any North Carolinian ancestry.
Not that I know of. Well, maybe
You're
they
from
moved.
New Jersey.
Yeah, maybe the front. The thing is, I have a way that I could look into my ancestry, but I'd have to go to find it, and that might take a while.
Gotta go into the mountains and find yourself.
No, I already know where I am.
Grandpappy.
Wait, that reminds me. One time my dad brought home a bootleg DVD. Does that make him a pirate?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or did he kill anyone?
All right,
for
I'm
it?
related to a pirate then.
Listen, Ford, you might be related to a pirate, but have you ever downloaded Morbius onto Liam's the laptop? I thought
No,
not.
you did
I don't need
that.
to download-
Exactly.
I don't need to download.
I don't
Morbius.
need
The
to be
GIF was
related
playing
to a
in
pirate.
Discord. I just have the Morbius GIF on
You
Discord.
stop.
Leo,
the
do you
gift?
know this full story? Because you're the one that wasn't there.
Well, maybe. Sell it
So-
again, just for dramatic effect.
So they kept saying we want to watch Morbius. I'm like, I really don't want to watch Morbius. And then well, we're gonna get some pizza.
Yeah.
He's like, and they'll say, well, we will buy Morbius if
No,
you
we
watch
will.
it.
We said we would rent Morbius. This is an important caveat.
Okay, he said, you guys will pay for it. I said, yes, we will pay for it. So then me and Mace go to get pizza.
No. I took you guys to get pizza.
Okay, you're with us. I thought you were with them for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so your hands are clean.
See,
Yes.
again, I'm
And
the
this
only one.
portion of it, me and Mace,
So
also I
funny.
should add the detail. I asked everyone if they wanted any wings, and no one except Mace said they wanted wings.
Bro.
But then we ate them all anyway.
You guys want wings? No, we got wings at home. Wings at home.
They're literally my wings.
Yes.
So
Morbius.
anyway, I get back and they're playing, like trying on PS5. I'm like, why are you trying on PS5? I was like, oh, because we illegally downloaded it from an Indian site.
Wait, I thought it was.
But
wait, I thought
okay,
it was
but the reason we
Pakistani.
illegally downloaded it, I have to say, Morbius was not available for rent anywhere, and we didn't want to just buy Morbius. Like, come on, everyone knows Morbius. Like, it's Morbius, and
You
it
could
was
have
only
watched it in
available to
720p on
buy
Discord.
digital. So naturally, we did the next best thing.
So they didn't
And it was
pay
in better
anything.
quality too.
They didn't pay anything, and they ate my wings.
Good grief.
Intriguing.
Yeah, it was a weird night.
Okay,
Was
we're
this during the trip for my wedding?
Yes.
Yeah,
It was
Okay.
literally
you were
after
on your
your wedding.
honeymoon at this point. It was a few days after.
Oh,
Okay.
was it?
Yeah,
No, I
Huh.
thought it was like
It was
the,
like-
Yeah, I thought it was like before.
the same day as the wedding.
that wasn't the same day. Wait,
I'm pretty sure it was the same day.
was it
Maybe?
the day Leo got married? Actually, what did we have
I
for
think it
dinner
was.
that night?
What
Didn't
would
we
we
have a
have
pizza
had for
that night?
dinner? Because we didn't make anything.
We had so much
Pretty-
macaroni and cheese, though.
We did have a
That
lot of
is true.
macaroni and cheese.
You're
Ford
welcome.
was. I've never seen Ford happier than when he was making that macaroni and cheese. I didn't have the heart to tell him, Ford, we're never going to eat this much macaroni and cheese. I just wanted him to be happy.
I told you to take it home.
Gid has a relationship question for us.
Okay.
Okay.
He says, I have sworn a vengeance against all cows for depriving my family of milk to such a degree that my father has been on a 55-year quest to obtain milk.
What
The
is
question is murdering and grilling all cows on the face of the planet healthy for me as a person?
Yes.
No. Okay.
As long as you make
Keep
steaks
going.
out of them and you eat the steak, if you oven the food and out hot eat the food, then it's okay. But you have to have the stomach capacity to obtain that much steak. So
I know I'm going against my better instincts here, but it's probably not a good idea to kill an entire species. That's called genocide.
Yeah.
Why did the general chat suddenly go into BCC content?
I accidentally moved it while I was trying to click back into it. It's not a relationship issue. There's no women involved in this one. The relationship only involves a man and a woman.
Well, it's his relationship with his father being ruined by the fact that he went to get...
He knew what I meant.
Listen, I'm all about father-son relationships, being that I don't have one at the moment. So, I'm all about fixing that, you know what I'm saying? Not my own, but other people's.
Kevin has an open flask sitting on the desk in front of him.
Yeah, because it's mostly empty.
Did y'all finish the black rum that we got
No,
for the master party?
No, Liam doesn't drink.
Well, not true. I had a cider the other day.
Oh.
Okay, so that will still be here.
And some champagne.
When we go back up.
Yeah, no, there'll likely still be rum when you get here.
Perfect.
No, there's
Unless
not
Kevin
much.
gets to it.
It'll help me take the edge off after the flight.
You should hopefully have a better experience flying here.
I hope so. It's still American, though. They're the ones who got me into that trouble the
That
first
is true.
place.
Americans are having issues. So, pray for the best.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, we didn't say we'd talk about it later. So, though, for anyone who doesn't know, that's where I was last week. I got married. So that was great.
Yay.
Shout out to my wife, Allie. I think she fell asleep.
I think that's probably accurate.
Mine has gone off to crochet with her friend.
Mine is also sleeping.
Mine doesn't exist.
Oh no, she's awake still. So yeah, that's where I was. And you guys had the first podcast without me in like 8 years.
Yeah.
I don't think that's completely true.
Yeah, that's
but...
not at all.
No, you guys tried to. Remember one time when me and Leo were in Dallas?
Well, we had the podcast.
Yes.
Whether or not it made it, that's a different story.
Yes, we
I
were
remember
on the
then
fast,
me and
fast
Leo were
streets of
pitching the
Dallas.
concept what would become our Lego Racer podcast during that time.
We were very inspired at it.
It's a shame you guys don't have that passion anymore.
I'll never hear the F-Zero music the same way.
See, out of everyone here, Leo is certainly the best driver. If I was going to place my life in someone's hands for driving, it would be Leo.
He looked at me just 2 seconds afterwards and it's just like...
Well, you're the second worst driver.
I am not the second worst driver.
Now, Ford has gotten better since we bullied him, so you might be a contender for the worst now.
No.
Ha!
That is not true. I have never driven down a one-way street and decided, no, I'm going to keep going.
You did take us
But
the
does
wrong
Kevin
way
know
for
how to
an
change
hour.
the oil in his car?
was your
Because
fault.
I did that.
Kevin,
after
you
the
know how to
trip.
change the oil in your car?
Yeah. I haven't
Oh,
had
yeah?
You know how to
do it
drink
yet,
the
but
oil?
Explain
how to
in
do it.
detail what
Wait,
to do.
how long has it been since you had that car?
Like a year.
And you haven't changed the oil?
I haven't changed the oil. I've had my oil changed.
Okay.
That's different.
So,
So,
but
yeah,
wait,
that's
but
true,
not
Ford.
yourself.
Ford, you didn't even know how to fuel your own car when we first met you. Okay? Like, calm down.
I might not have known that, but I knew how to rotate the tires and change the oil. I even knew how to take out the fuel tank.
You knew how to take out the tank, but you didn't know how to put fuel
Just
in
at
the
a gas
tank.
station, he takes out the
I
tank
also
and
knew
then
how to
starts
replace the
fueling it up.
spark plugs.
Or
You know how
I
to
know
do
how
that
to
too?
take out. I know how to take out every part in my car. I just don't think I could put it back in.
Ford, what did happen?
I know
I'm
how-
still confused. Why is
how.
your car low on oil? Because I've never had that happen to my car. Have you even
It had
neglected
been a
His
while
car
since
be
I
leaking.
So it had been a while since I changed the oil, and in the hotter months of the year, your car can burn oil if it gets too hot.
That
Like,
doesn't
it'll actually
answer my
burn it
question. Do you
off.
not change your oil every 6 months?
I usually change it every 5 to 10,000 miles, depending on the grade of oil I'm using.
Yeah.
What grade do you use? I usually use Castrol.
I'm using Mobile One 10W30.
I've never heard of it.
And
That's very
pair it with
specific.
I pair it with a K&N oil filter since they're easier to get off since they have that nut on the top.
Mhm.
They're used in race cars for quick oil
so
changes on the
for
go.
racing.
Because
He's a racist.
That's why I asked. 'Cause
Yeah.
I thought Ford took pretty good care of his car, but I've never.
No, I usually do, and I knew that I needed to change the oil quickly before I, even before I went on the trip to your wedding. And I knew I was pushing my luck with it, but I didn't think I'd get the light on. That was interesting.
Yeah, I'd never gotten an oil light on my car.
But I
get
changed
my
the
car
oil,
from
everything's
Jake's this
fine.
week.
It's actually starting up even better now, so that's good. But
yeah,
yeah.
Mace is still. I don't know if I put Mace as the worst driver though, or in the middle, because Mace has never driven a car.
He's not on the tier list, unfortunately.
Yeah, Leo's the best. I'm not the greatest driver in the world, so I'm definitely.
He's clearly the
below
worst
Leo,
driver.
But I think I'm better than Kevin.
No, he drives too slow, like dangerously slow.
Not dangerously slow.
Yeah.
Going the speed-
Driving
Look.
10 under the speed limit is
Not-
dangerously slow.
Not 10.
That
Going
is-
that
is pretty
45 on a
dangerous.
country road is not dangerous.
Yes, it is when it's supposed to be 55.
What
not-
country road actually listed as 55?
Oh,
That's-
that's the neat part. Michigan
don't.
country roads.
Oh,
If you don't see
You
a like speed limit in like at least 5 minutes, you start going 55.
you insane Michigander, you northerner. you.
Listen, the country roads here are literally just straight lines. Straight lines.
Yeah, but when it gets dark or it's sunset or something, I do not go 55 because I don't want to hit a deer. And
Bro, you go 45 like when it's bright out. Like
Your wife says you drive slowly. Like you.
yes, I don't speed.
But he doesn't go the speed limit either.
If it is clear and low chance of deer, then yes, I'll go the speed limit. Like on the highway, I go the speed limit.
We'll have to
But
see
yeah,
about
on
that.
the back roads, I am very cautious because I don't want to hit a deer.
Well, to be fair, I guess the deer here are like monsters out of a nightmare instead of, a deer.
If you go up further north, then there's moose.
Yeah, the deer here are like the crossbreeding of moose, elk. Like, if elk and moose had a kid and it came out small, that's a deer here.
Oh, we've went on for longer than I meant to go on. So, as always, please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe. You can share it on X or any other platform that you so choose. You can join the BCC Crew Discord server. Link is in the description below to talk about the Lego Great Deku Tree. Talk about whatever else you want there. I think we probably have the most lenient yet strict rules of any Lego server ever.
They're strict.
It's the nature
but
of
fair.
duality.
So you can join us every Monday night around 9:15, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time for another episode of the BCC Crew Podcast. And get ready, as coming up soon on the 27th, we have our 400th episode and the 10-year anniversary of the BCC Crew channel. So
Woohoo!
make sure.
Will
you're
it be
prepared.
live?
Yeah, it'll be live,
Okay.
barring anything unfortunate.
Will there be video?
Yeah, there'll be video.
Barring
Cool.
anything unfortunate
There'll be
happening.
video and alcohol.
Oh, my
Was-
2 favorite things.
Was 300 our last video podcast?
I think so.
I don't think we did any video.
This is going to be our
outside
first one.
300.
This will be our first, like, entirely in-person podcast, too.
We tried one at Brick Fair, I
Wow.
think, but that didn't happen.
I forget why.
Yeah, I think
we
the logistics of the
couldn't,
setup
sit
just
down
didn't
long
work
enough to
out.
get
The
done.
thing I'm most worried about for doing a live episode while everyone's here is I do not have air conditioning.
Bro,
We'll get
That
all
is
good and
indeed a
sweaty.
problem.
We'll get bare chested and
You're not going to have air
we could
conditioning
do it at
in
my
the
We'll need to get shirts that say "Can't take the heat."
And then we take them off. Like,
yeah, Leo and
yes.
Mace are from Florida. It shouldn't be that hot for them.
But they have air conditioning in Florida.
They do have air conditioning in Florida.
That's one of the essential needs.
It was one of the great civilizing forces of Florida.
Even though Florida is still not civilized.
Yeah,
Look, I'm not going to speak for Orlando, but the Sanford area is quite nice.
like if we
Florida,
have
man.
everything downstairs tends to stay cooler. Also, we'll do it after the sun goes down. So.
Well, the sun's down here and it's still,
When nighttime lets us get freaky.
We could do it outside in the street.
in the nude.
And then really hear the train.
Yeah.
Mm.
The train
Well,
will
so-
probably happen.
We'll have a roulette rotation of, like, okay, someone has to stand on the track for the next, like, 20 minutes. And see how that ends up.
See, you're saying one of us is gonna die.
Yeah, like for the 400th episode, gotta make it
Skype
spectacular.
on air.
Live leak episode. BCC crew live leak special.
I'm just saying.
I'm
Leave
leaving
it
out
in
the
the
skip.
comments below if you want one of us to randomly,
Disappear.
you know, pass peacefully.
Into a red mist.
Okay. All right. So, for Ford, Leo, Malers, myself, LQ, we thank you for listening, and we will see